Hi, everybody. 4:35 in the afternoon. The high today, 31 out at PDX. That was back at midnight. It looks like the high this afternoon is going to end up being 30 degrees. This morning we were down to 25. We did put officially a trace of snow in the book for today. Of course, the bigger story, the snow total yesterday, and that's where I begin. So if you haven't heard, this surprised the heck out of me, but it looks like this is factual. The second biggest snow on record fell yesterday, site specific to PDX. So those records go back into the early 1940s. Now, check this out. The daily storm record, the most we've ever had since they built PDX out at that location, was back in 1943, one of the first years of the airport, 14.4 inches of snow right there. Yesterday at PDX, nearly 11 inches, 10.8. That becomes the second largest snow in the record books out at the airport. That shocked the heck out of me because, clearly we've had snows. I mean, here at my house in Hazeldale, we had 15 inches of snow a couple of Februarys ago. But at the airport, site specific, that's the second big one. The second biggest we've had, 10.8. Now, I looked at a ton of snow reports, okay? So you may have had more. Some of you actually had less. But generally speaking, at low elevations, up through 100 feet or 200 feet or so. 3 to 6 inches is what fell in most areas. There were certainly more than this over on the east side of Clark County, that first area that really blew up, in parts of East Multnomah County as well. But generally speaking, it was 3 to 6 inches. I actually had just shy of 4 at my home up here. We're by Columbia River High School, by the way, in Clark County. While Shugal, when you get above 500 feet, they hit 16 inches. That was one of the biggest reports there was in the metro area. And above 500 feet, a lot of places did have 8, 9, 10, 12 inches reported. So what a snowstorm it was. I touched on this briefly yesterday. For me personally, I've been forecasting this area since 1999. For me personally, the majority of my forecast snow blows, if you will, where I haven't gotten it right, have come when I had the temperatures too warm. Again, back on Wednesday afternoon, I thought we'd be 35, 36 degrees during much of the day with snow showers, but nothing really sticking at low elevations. Well, that temperature fell down by 2 o'clock. It was 32 degrees, and we had snow starting to stack up everywhere. And here's what really fooled me. Now, this, if I had to do it all over again, I would still not see this. And I think I speak for the majority of forecasters in the area. The airport, 10.8 inches of snow. But the liquid precipitation, so if you melted this and you counted the little bit of rain that was earlier in the day, it was 84 100ths, 0.84. That's one of the wettest days we've had this entire winter outside of a couple 24-hour periods in December. Forecast modeling was alluding to more of like maybe a quarter of an inch of total available precipitation. But 84 100ths, that low offshore, and I'll show you where that is right now, definitely, I think I speak for most forecasters, thought that low would maybe have that much impact in terms of what it could produce snow wise, and it just blew up. That was crazy. Anyway, all right, so we'll put that in the record book. Now the headline is it's going to get really cold tonight. Record cold, in fact, expected tonight. There's a wind chill advisory for the North Valley, the Portland metro area, where east winds are coming out, and also up into the mountains. So here are my forecast projections. 18 tonight in Portland. That would smash the current record for tomorrow's date of 25 back in 1969. I've got Salem down to 19, Longview, Kelso area down to 16, Hillsboro 16, out in the East Gorge, the Dalles down to about 13 degrees. So well below 20 in many instances. The wind chill, if you're out overnight tonight and you're in a spot where the east winds are really picking up near the gorge, they've been gusting to about 40 today, will make it feel like it's maybe close to 0 at times, certainly in the single digits. And if you're going to be up in the mountains for whatever reason tonight, those wind chills can reach 10, 15, even 20 degrees below 0. It's already down to the single digits at most of the resorts right now on that pass level up on Mount Hood. So be prepared for a cold night tonight. Again, double check your garden hose are disconnected. If you got the little insulators to go over them, that's great. Whatever you do at your place to make sure you're ready for one of the colder nights we will have this entire winter season, please make sure you do that. Live cameras were really spectacular today. I mean, we had pretty solid snow cover out in the gorge earlier. A lot of that's melted off. That was Elk Ridge, still really pretty out there. that never really showed snow cover. Three Rivers up in Kelso. This was cool because this grass was covered in snow this morning out at the end of Ottercrest. That's down south of Depot Bay. I really think that the prettiest camera right now is this one. I love this shot. Look how icy it is. The sun's shining off of the ice, if you will. That's the tarmac at Pearson Airfield in Vancouver, looking back to the west over the interstate bridge, the setting sun, and that just sets the scene as a reminder. We had a little bit of thawing on some of the roads today. Didn't get up to 32, but with the sun hitting the asphalt, it warmed a little bit. And we had some thawing. That's going to quickly turn into nothing but a sheet of ice tonight. I know some school districts have already canceled for tomorrow for good reason, because the buses are all going to be running on icy roads. So that's going to be a dangerous mess out there. Okay, we still have a little bit of precipitation out there, and here it is. We basically ended the chance of any snow in Portland as early as, 7 o'clock this morning. This is the first batch right there on the northern edge of that's still snow shower activity. The batch down south of Corvallis is showing up as rain on the observations. At any rate, that has just been light stuff. It never really blew up. There may have been an inch or two of snow this morning in parts of Yamhill County, but that never really blew up to anything, and it's going to continue to fizzle and continue to drop to the south. This is a great picture. Let me pull this up for you. Kind of a mix of a visible satellite picture. See a little curl right here? This low was parked right up here, just north of the Columbia River yesterday, and it just stayed there. And again, modeling was putting out, it maybe producing enough precipitation for about 4 inches of snow if everything started to stick early in the afternoon, which it did. But it produced, as I mentioned, 84 1/100 of an inch of total liquid precipitation, which fueled the snow amounts that reached 12 inches in some spots. So that was crazy. The low is slowly dropping to the south, not as quickly as forecast models were indicating, but it's also pushing out a little bit to sea. We're already seeing those weakening snow bands down south of Salem toward the Corvallis area. So that continues to drop to the south. The precipitation areas I showed you on radar will completely disappear overnight, and everybody will start to clear out. Okay, I do want to show you the coast. Look at this. The snow at the coast was crazy. There's Lincoln City. This is current. This is still today when they've had sun. Still quite a bit of snow right there in the downtown area with a temperature of 32 degrees. Wow. A reminder, if you are traveling, let's see here. Look at this. They had some melting today, but a lot of the coast highways still show significant snow and ice, and they will tomorrow morning too. I mean, that's Oregon 6, the Tillamook Highway, Wilsonville Highway rather. At an elevation of 589, that's still pretty snow covered and icy. So that's going to be a mess when we get going into tomorrow morning easily. So FYI, still very tough traveling over the mountain ranges both ways tonight and tomorrow morning. And still really going to be icy all over the place for your Friday morning commute. Now, I will tell you, I did drive up and down I-5 to get home to Clark County today. That really cleared out nicely. But you get into the other roadways and there's still going to be some messes. So here we go, 18 tonight, the wind chill advisory we talked about. Winds will ease. Today they were gusting to about 40 near the gorge. Tomorrow maybe those winds are 30 and less, okay? It'll be a beautiful sunny day. We'll get up above freezing. We'll get a little more thawing, especially on used roadways, 38 degrees. By Saturday, we're into light winds. But look at Saturday, right back down to 22. That would also be a record. The record Saturday morning is 23. Both the records the next two nights are from the cold February of 1969, by the way. But then Saturday, 44. Now we're starting to get our first day where you're going to start noticing maybe the snow on your deck melting off and in the backyard, that type of thing. Okay, I still feel like the next moisture that comes in Saturday overnight and Sunday, it will be a close call. I'm actually working on the KGW Sunrise Show Sunday morning. It'll be a close call, but I feel like most of us, this will just be rain. I'm going to hold Portland's temperature at 35 and then warm to 44. The front comes into the morning. If you look at the positioning of the low with the front and the fact that it's a southwesterly flow and the fact that we're going to have clouds coming in Saturday evening overnight after some warming, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Different story with the second system. There's a second one that comes on Monday. Now this low is farther south along the coast as it approaches, which will have a better chance to pull a little bit of east wind out of the gorge back toward it. Right now, I've got our low at 35 as well, but maybe I'll have to lower that to 32, and certainly maybe there could be an early mix of some sort of precipitation. Let me back up for a second and go back to Sunday morning. Sunday morning, as I mentioned, I think it's going to be rain. The temperature profiling is starting to come out. in depth for Sunday morning. And it does show warmer air layers aloft. So if we had a wintry mix on Sunday, it would be ice, probably not snow, before it changed to rain. I think most of us, it's just rain, but there could be some ice in the mountains. And then Monday, we'll watch that. That could be a mix in the morning. Tuesday, just a few showers. I think if there is anything in early morning, temperatures near freezing, it won't be much. And then Wednesday's freezing in the morning, but dry in the mornings. That's not an issue. And then Thursday's definitely rain, 38 to 46 degrees. So that's where you are right now. No forecaster likes blowing one of the we only get 3, 4, maybe 5 really huge forecasts a year as forecaster storms that are memorable. And when you blow one of them, it really stings. I do take this chance to thank you for using my weather products. Subscribe here on the Facebook page. My Portland Weather Facebook also has updates for you. And, of course, my weather site's always updated behind me, portlandweather.com. I'll talk to you soon.